Okay, welcome to your first video guided notes homework assignment. So this is going to help us get ready to launch problem 1.2 for tomorrow in class. Okay, so you have to come in with these completed. You're going to show me something that I'm going to ask you to at the end of the video. And then when you come in tomorrow, when I ask for your homework, you're going to show me this. That's how you get your stamp. If you don't do it, it's no stamp, and then it's in the hallway to start here instead. But if you're listening, obviously you won't be sitting in the hallway. So, it says Olivia and her family want to tile their fireplace that is a perfect square with an unknown side length S. Okay, so just like tiling our pools yesterday with squares, and we don't know the side lengths. So, to determine the number of tiles needed, she created the following to create an equation to relate the number of tiles needed to the length of the sides S. So if you notice here, if I had this side length of S, because it's a square, then I know that all of the four sides in this case would need S number of tiles. But because we're only tiling on three sides, I would need one S here, the second, and the third. Okay, so I took these chunks of S tiles, and I showed, okay, I have three of them that are identical. Well, then I remembered I have to include the corners. Okay, so it gets that perfect, everything is surrounded on the fireplace. Okay, so then here's my two corners off to the side. So it says, based on the image above, what equation do you think Olivia wrote relating N, the number of tiles needed, to S? It says, if the fireplace is 4 feet above to determine the number of tiles needed. Above. The side length of 4 feet. Foot. I'm going to 4 tiles to cover this part that I highlighted. So I need 4 there, 4 here. So 1, 2, 3. 4. Other equations represent the same. All right, so let's go ahead and erase all of this here. And I just want to think of another way that I could group all of these parts together. Okay, so if I look at this, I think, okay, well, maybe this side can kind of take in one of the corners. So I could take this and kind of picture putting it with this one. And I could do the same over here. So I could picture, okay, maybe this corner tacking on with this guy. And then all I would have left is just one of the sides. So if I wanted to go write this equation, I could say, well, I had two identical groups of a side plus a corner, but then I can't forget that other side. So if I look at if I color in kind of what my expression represents, I have two groups of a side plus a corner. So I have a side plus a corner. There's one group, two groups, and then I have the number of tiles just to cover that top part, which we know there is just S. So if you look, you can see that colored around the entire fireplace. So I have accounted for every tile needed to surround the fireplace. So this would be equal to the number of tiles. Okay, so this is going to be what you come in and show me tomorrow. How can you determine if the two equations are equivalent? Think about, how can I prove that this guy here is equivalent to this guy here? I also, hopefully you're listening, I want you to write a third equation. Okay, so you're going to write another equation that would be equivalent to the two I already wrote. Okay, so you can think of this bottom piece down here as what I'm going to check class for you to get a stamp.